Welcome back, New York Jets fans, to the Underdog Jets Podcast. Live on this Monday night. I see people coming into the live chat on YouTube. And if you're listening elsewhere and you want to ask Wayne a question, head over to YouTube.
You okay?
Yeah, we froze up for a second.
Oh,
All right. If everyone still with us, we froze up for a moment, but we should be good now. Let me check YouTube really quickly. First, some house cleaning stuff. The best thing you could do for us is rate and review over on iTunes. Next week, March 27th was originally going to be March 28th, excuse me, the next Wayne Chrebet Q&A, but we're going to postpone that to get more people involved. So announcement on that to come, and use discount code 80 at jetsxfactor.com to get a nice discount on a membership at Jets X Factor. Joe Blewett just put out a George Karlaftis edge rushing, pretty in-depth breakdown today, and only members could access that. Wayne, how's your night going so far?
going pretty good. Yours? I know you got your brand new puppy making noise in the background, so it's okay.
Yeah, she's I'll tell you what, she's gonna be a nuisance. I gotta figure out something to get someone to watch her while we do this podcast, because if I put her in the crate, she'll whine. I mean, it might be only 5 minutes, but still, it's a nuisance.
Right.
And right now she's just, chilling on her bed, kind of rolling around like she's rolling in mud, but there's no mud.
Right.
So we'll see. She's doing okay so far.
All right, good.
Today there's really no subject today. We're just going to let fans ask questions, or we'll take it where the fans want us to go. So ask those questions. We'll put them up on the screen. And this is your chance to ask Wayne anything that you want to. And I know we'll start with Eagle Fang 86, as his first question is on the screen. Actually, this is a reply, so let's start with a different one. Question for Wayne: if the Jets draft a defensive lineman with the 10th pick, is that a sign that Quinnen Williams is going to get traded?
No, they're not going to trade Quinnen Williams. I think he's the foundation of that defensive line. I think they plan on keeping him around for a while. I think they'll do everything to keep him. I don't think there's nothing out there worth trading for. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I said before, he should have made the Pro Bowl last year, the year he had. And what he was last year is what they expected him to be when they made him a high draft pick. So I don't think he's going anywhere, and I'm glad for that. He's a great player.
I agree. And we haven't even seen his true ceiling yet. Like, he has loads more in him. So he could bust out with a superstar season next year and the year after.
Right.
They definitely need help on the inside with Foley gone, but they need that one tech nose tackle guy. Yeah, Quinnen's really not going to go anywhere. Hofstra football needs to come back. Eagle Fang also said. Wayne, I know you're a proud alum, and we've talked about it quickly before, but what are your thoughts on Hofstra football being no more right now?
Oh, when I heard it, I was actually on the road, and when I landed, it had so many texts and emails and stuff like that. That they got rid of Hofstra's football, and I was shocked. But then I thought about it. When the new president came in, the old president when I was there was great. He was a former football player, supported the program, but the new president wanted to be more like an Ivy League kind of school.
Yeah.
Felt like it was losing too much money, but the press they had from me coming out and the players after me from Hofstra, I mean, it's priceless. And we probably could have saved the program if he gave us a chance to, with donations, whatever, fundraising, whatever it was. So I hope they get back to it someday. I know there's a new president now, so we're starting to work on it. But we built a top 25 program for 1AA, and it's a shame that they got rid of it. But hopefully we can, regroup and get it going again.
Who are the most famous, recognizable Hofstra football players? You got Marcus Colston. Who else is up there on that list?
Willie Colon went there.
That's right, Willie Colon.
Dave Fiore, who had a great career with the Niners, he came out of there. Lance
Mhm.
Schulters was like a third round pick for the Niners. He had a good year, and then multiple, free agents, lower draft picks that had some, decent careers there.
Yeah, Hofstra's always been I always thought of it, I always thought of football first when I thought of Hofstra.
You know what
Uh,
though? Do you know Raheem Morris, the coach, head coach in the league? He coached at Tampa Bay, and now I'm not sure where he's coaching now. Raheem Morris, he's from Hofstra. I played with him. He ended up being a NFL head coach. That's crazy. Can't hear you.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, so we've been live twice already now, and the third time is not the charm. We're having
Yeah.
some technical difficulties, but we'll get through it, we promise. Um, yeah, Raheem Morris had a hell of a I think it was a first season in Tampa, and then it kind of flamed out, and he's bounced around since, but I did not know that he went to Hofstra.
Yeah.
And you guys it's the nickname Pride now, right? When it used to be the
It
Flying Dutchman?
was the Flying Dutchman, and they always had like the Pride lines and stuff like that. And they changed it to the Hofstra Pride, after I left. And they got a pretty good basketball team too, baseball, softball. I mean, they have some good athletics there at Hofstra. Just wish they had football back.
Yeah, one day, we'll see. All right, let's get to another question. Excuse me for mispronouncing this name, but Laradonna Marie has this question. Do you think the Jets, excuse me, still try to draft Iquanu, a man that no one likes to try to pronounce, if Thibodeau is off the board at number 4? I don't think it's really a need now that after the Tomlinson signing. I would feel much better with taking Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher, who's either third or fourth on the board next to Karlaftis. What do you think? Do you think Iquanu is the guy at number 4 if no Thibodeau?
Um, I mean, you can't go wrong solidifying the offensive line more. But I mean, what's your opinions on it?
It's I'm still wishy-washy in terms of what Douglas has his eye on. I actually think he is thinking receiver at number 10, even though
Okay,
that's not his style. I do think he will not necessarily go receiver, but I think it's a legit option.
good. I
Number
wanted to hear your
4,
opinion. I wanted to hear your opinion first. Yeah, I think you could solidify the offensive line for sure. The more protection he gets, the better he's going to do. You can't throw to your new, number 10 pick receiver if you're not protecting the quarterback. And it's funny that kid signed with the Bengals, and he tweeted that like to Joe Burrow that no one's going to touch you from now on. We need a guy like that next to Becton and next to those other guys. But if we can get an edge guy, 4 or 10, I think it's you can't go wrong with that. But I'd be interested to see who would pop up at number 10 if they were going to take a receiver, because there's multiple guys that they pick up.
yeah, Garrett Wilson, you got Burks, who kind of disappointed a lot of people in the
Yeah,
combine with his 40 time. And you got Drake London too. I know you're high on Drake London. He's
yeah,
a big target, 6'5", USC.
yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple guys there.
Hey, maybe you go Sauce Gardner or Stingley,
Yep.
get a shutdown corner. I mean, you got multiple. You can trade back. You know what I mean? The fact that they got 2 picks, I mean, they have tremendous amount of options, and I trust that Joe Douglas is going to do the right thing.
The one question, nagging question is this. Iquanu, it looks like he could play guard. I don't know if Neil could play guard. So what
Yeah.
if Neil is there? Would you ever entertain a trade of Fant or Becton if you go Neil at 4?
I wouldn't get rid of Becton. I wouldn't get rid of either one of them. I mean, you want depth. I mean, you expect your number 4 pick to be a starter, but
Mhm.
if they could all stay healthy and they get this kid, I mean, that's going to be one of the better top 10 lines in the league.
Matthew Sawicki asks, how many years are we away from another 98 or 09 2010 run? What do you think?
Um, when I tell people, and people ask me that question, and I say have faith. I always say, and I've been like that, since I retired. I always had faith that they're going to do something. But I just think we have the right people in place. We have the right head coach. Love everything he stands for, the way he motivates. And you could read, in the papers that people are coming there because he's the coach.
Yep.
And they want to play in New York, but they're coming there because he's the coach. They want to play for him. And Joe Douglas is making the right moves. We got young guys, mixture of some older guys, but definitely that's a destination guys are starting to want to go to. It's not the same old Jets thing. So you never know. You win some of the games that you lost last year that you could have won. Maybe you sneak in the playoffs and you get in the tournament. Anything could happen. But I certainly think, if not this year, next year, we're definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, I'm right along those lines with you. DJ Reed used to Salah. He knows Salah very well, and that's a big reason why he came here. Same thing with Tomlinson and John Benton, who was the offensive line coach in San Francisco for Tomlinson. So those ties, you see players coming to be reacquainted with those coaches. It's apparent, and that's a really good thing.
Yeah, this kid we got from Tampa was Whitehead, the safety.
Yep, Jordan Whitehead.
That dude's serious out there. I mean, I saw he was mic'd up, and he's bringing it.
He loves to
He's
hit.
out there hitting. He's blitzing. Everything they had with Jamal Adams. This guy can be, and he just brings a nastiness and an attitude. And you get that kind of like around these younger guys, and that's kind of like contagious. They pick up on what he's out there doing. So got a lot of good signings.
Tibor Mazy asks, how important is it for the Jets to draft a big, deep threat receiver?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what we have there's really no really deep threat. Corey Davis can go deep and he calls some deep passes. I mean, do you want a burner, or do you want a possession guy, or do you want like a red zone guy? I mean, what receiver does all that right now? I don't know if there's one out there. Drake London, you can't put him in the slot.
No.
Some of these other guys are quick, but I think we're gonna have to do it by committee. I don't think there's one guy who's gonna be the overall number one receiver. So if there's one out there, Joe Douglas will find it. Maybe it's Drake London.
Perhaps. I know Blewett likes London a lot too. Ian Roddy, who is actually one of our writers, he's checking in. Do you have a favorite receiver in this year's class? If you do, what do you like most about him? Is it London, Garrett Wilson, Burks? What do you got?
I got a chance to see Garrett Wilson play some games. He's special, but this Drake London kid, I always like the people, these tall receivers catch these 50-50 balls. And when you have a quarterback that will believe in that, like he started believing in Elijah and Braxton for the routes they run. This was what Denzel Mims was supposed to be. They say he's great at the 50-50 ball, coming down with that. Maybe this kid is better suited, London, for this offense with LaFleur. So maybe he's the guy. I don't know if he'll still be there, if he's the first receiver off the board. I kind of favor him just with his size and what he brings to the field.
Yeah, I got to dig into it more, admittedly. But I do like Garrett Wilson. I do like Burks. London, I got to watch more of.
Yeah.
But to your point, it looks like he fits the offense much better. He complements those other guys so much better because Berrios and Moore come in the same mold. Where they could play slot.
Quarterback's best friend. A receiver like that, hey, you get in trouble. It's kind of like a Mike Evans kind of thing, Calvin Johnson kind of thing. You just throw it up. Maybe they either knock it down, catch it, or get a pass interference.
Yep.
And they're all, it's worth a shot with a guy like that.
And Corey Davis has the physical tools. He's tallish, but London towers over him. He's even taller than Corey Davis.
Well, we'll see.
All right, next one. Let's there's another receiver. Everyone's going with those receiver stuff here. How does Matt Ryan only get a third round return, but Sam Darnold gets a second, fourth, and sixth? Ryan's a 4-time Pro Bowler, and what is he? Top 10 in passing yards all time. So tip of the cap to Douglas. Wayne, what are your thoughts about Douglas, the thief in the night who's making a lot of GMs angry around the league?
Yeah. He even what guy from the old regime, was it Blake Cashman he traded?
Yeah. Where did he? I forget where he traded Cashman to, or all of a sudden already.
Yep. But that's the thing. That was a guy who wasn't going to play or probably make the roster. They got a 6th-round pick for him. He got a good player in the 6th round. Yeah. Yep. So the deals he's making is great. As far as Matt Ryan going for a third rounder, I don't know. He maybe he's a little older, but what he brings to a team and leadership and stuff like that. I mean, look at they got for Deshaun Watson. Yeah, like King's ransom. It's crazy
Yep.
what they get for that, and he might be suspended for half the season.
Hmm.
I don't know. I there's no rhyme or reason to it, but like I said, Joe Douglas did a great job with what he got for Sam Darnold, and that's why I'm so optimistic about this year's draft and free agency signings.
Kenyon Gulata asks, Mr. Chrebet, it's an honor. You were one hell of a player. Question, and this, I mean, I think everyone already knows the answer to this one, but question, there was a myth that Vinny was colorblind. Any truth? Any truth to that one?
I don't think so. I heard the same thing. No, I think we were all colorblind at the color rush that one night
Yeah,
when we
that's
were
right.
wearing green and Buffalo was wearing red,
Yep.
and everybody looked brown on the field. But no, I never asked him about it. I heard it, but I just assumed he wasn't. He was.
I-
Listen, he played for the worst franchise in the Bucks when he got drafted #1. He had no help. You got to remember when he went to Baltimore, he made the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Came to New York, he made the Pro Bowl. I mean, the guy threw for a touchdown pass in 20 something straight years. He got a record. There's nothing wrong with his eyesight. He just played for some bad teams, which was unfortunate. But when I played with him, he got me the ball, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I've heard the same thing. Like every Jets fan has. It started in Tampa. There were, if I correct me if I'm wrong, so people do research. Don't quote me on this, but there were signs off of roads, with a certain color, and the sign would say, "Vinny Testaverde doesn't know what color this is," because of his poor performance as a rookie in Tampa. They were expecting so much out of him coming out of college. I think that's where the myth came from, but I'm not sure. That's the only thing I know.
Think about any quarterback that's never been accused of being colorblind, throwing picks, 3 picks in a game, 20 in a season, this, that. Every quarterback's had their bad luck, their bad eyesight. I mean, Sam Darnold said he saw ghosts.
Yeah, on
It
national
happens.
television.
Yeah, you have some bad years, you have some bad games, but Vinny's the best I played with, and he's one of the top quarterbacks that's ever played. And I'm glad I got a chance to play with him.
Matthew Sawicki asks, "Do we need a uniform redesign already? Is this new age look already associated with what does that say there? Too many losses. For the next round of throwbacks, what would you like to see if they do change the uniforms?"
I think we've had too many losses in every uniform we've ever had. I mean, I'd
Even
love
the Titans.
listen. I mean, when they went back to the Titans uniforms that one year, the throwbacks, I don't know how they did, but I like the old uniforms, the ones from when I came in the early 90s and the 80s. That'd be nice
Mhm.
to go back with that, maybe with a little upgrade to it. But I like the helmets. I like it how it said Jets. And when we went to the old uniforms that they had when they won the Super Bowl, I love that. But
Yeah.
the ones now, I don't know. There's nothing fancy about them, but they're still great uniforms, especially when they go with the all black. I mean, it's a nice look.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the all black too. I like the white. I
Yeah,
like the green helmet.
yeah,
But I like the white helmets the best, the 98 ones that you guys had.
yeah.
I think if they were to redesign it, I would like to see the 80s with the green helmet in 95, 95 with you guys with a modern style. But I don't know how they would go about it.
You could do the green instead of the with the helmets when I played. Do
Yes.
green, alternate, swap the green, that color green, the Kelly green, with the white stripe. That would be awesome.
Yes, yeah. Kind of make the Jets green helmet, that
Yeah,
logo, that era updated and
yeah,
kind of fool around with that.
yeah.
Um Krishma Waiters asks, "Have we given up on Denzel Mims? Kid displayed the size and speed under Gase last year, looked lost. What do you think?"
Yeah, like I mentioned before, going after the guy like Drake London. I mean, this is what they thought Denzel Mims would be. I don't know if he's done in New York. I don't know if they just don't believe in him. The offense coordinator doesn't believe in him. But he still has talent.
Mhm.
He still, you saw what he could do in his highlights from college. Maybe it just needs opportunity, but I don't know. They had a ton of guys hurt. He did get his opportunity sometimes. Sometimes he didn't play at all. I'm not sure why, but his college game hasn't translated to the pro game, and that happens sometimes. But maybe if he goes somewhere else, a new environment, he performs. But I'm not sure it's going to happen in New York.
Yeah, it's a tough one. No one knows much with Mims. I think if he were to get it between the ears and get the playbook down, that's the toughest part for him coming from Baylor. And I
And
think if he were to get that down, he could do some damage.
it's all about opportunity. And I think Crowder left. I think he signed with the Bills.
Yeah.
So there's more balls to hand out, and maybe he gets some of them.
Yeah, Crowder went to the enemy. I know Jets. It just happened today, right? Right before we hopped on. Some Jets fans were screaming about it.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? He does. Braxton does the same things he does. Younger, salary cap's different. So kind of like move into the new younger guys.
All right, Kenyon Gulata again. Do the Jets keep Mike White as part of their secret stash? Kind of want him for the number 2 quarterback, but they kept Flacco. What's your take? I know the Jets tendered White, so they pretty much plan to keep him. But what do you think of Mike White moving forward? His role?
Yeah, I mean, he showed what he can do when he got in there. Obviously, after the first game, they were ready to crown him the new Joe Namath, but I mean, came back down to earth. But he showed potential. You bring him along as a young guy, and sometimes these guys end up being good trade bait. And then a guy like Flacco, I don't know if he's there just to mentor these young guys, or he actually is a dependable number 2 anymore. It's kind of like the Josh McDown thing. He came there to teach these young guys. So between the two of them, Zach and Mike White, number 2, you just have great young talent in quarterback.
Christian Waiters asks, do we draft a tight end, and will we draft a kicker this draft, even with Eddie Pinheiro coming on at the end? And they're bringing back Pinheiro to at least compete. We know that, but will they draft a kicker? I don't know when their last kicker they drafted. Was it Nugent? It might have been Nugent.
Maybe Nugent when I was there. But as far as tight ends, we do not need a tight end now. We got 2 really solid tight ends, really good pass catchers, blockers, but very good pass catchers in Conklin and the kid from Ushimo from Bengals.
Yeah, Uzuma.
Yeah. They're 2 solid. If you look at their statistics from last year combined, I mean, they put a great performance out there for their teams, and I think they could do the same thing for us. I don't know. They were graded very highly in a lot of statistics last year.
And that's what Douglas is doing better than anybody Jets fans have seen in its value. The production he gets per dollar in free agency is incredible. And Conklin and Azuma really prove that out.
Yeah, and they don't have to use a second or third round pick on that McBride kid coming out of college or any of the other young guys. I mean, I think they're set at tight end with those 2 guys.
Next question. Should Becton post a rigid workout video to silence the crowd? To update everyone, Becton, he kind of goes back and forth on social media sometimes with negative replies, negative comments. He remains positive a lot of the time too, but sometimes he reacts to the negative stuff. And what this fan is asking is, should Becton be more positive and kind of put out a workout video showing people that he's working out and actually putting the effort in?
I don't know. I mean, he can to set people, the fans' minds at ease. I'm sure he's working out. I'm sure he's eating right. I'm sure he's doing all the things he could do, and then eating bad sometimes. But from what I know, he's working hard. Obviously, weight is an issue. But if he showed he can handle being that heavy and not get hurt, that's great. But maybe he needs to switch it up a little bit to come in a little lighter and take a lot of stress off his feet, which is what he's had problems with. Yeah. So does he need to do that? No. I mean, he could probably be more interactive with the fans, but if he doesn't want to, that's his choice.
Yeah. Folks, Carmelo Anthony used to post training videos every summer, during the basketball offseason. It didn't mean he came into the season in any better shape than he had prior. Gotcha. I wouldn't worry about that, to be honest. Let's see here. Next one. Wayne, do you keep in touch with Curtis Martin? Did you go to see his Hall of Fame speech? So what did you think about it, if so?
That's funny. I text with Curtis actually today about some stuff with former players. But as far as this Hall of Fame speech, I was not there for that. I didn't get a chance to go. I was busy, but yeah, I watched it live, watched reruns of it. Very powerful speech. He's a very powerful guy, very powerful, speaker. Like I've mentioned before, some of his pregame speeches were insane. I mean, just to get your blood flowing, ready to go out there and do whatever you needed to for your teammates and the coaches and everybody. So great guy, great player. And yeah, his speech was tremendous.
Yeah, Curtis always, I mean, I wish he can get me hyped up for work every morning, just wake up, go in the next room. There's Curtis getting me hyped up. Did you hear my dog growling before, by the way?
No.
Sounds like, geez, it sounds like she's possessed. I don't know what she's doing. Matthias Simon, Wayne, the man, Garfield, watched you from high school up through your college and, of course, Jets career. Lived in Lodi. So he just wanted to give you a shout out. He watched you in high school. Matthias Simon.
Yeah, Lodi was our rival, in high school. We had some great battles with them. But yeah, appreciate the support, man. Obviously, knowing from way back, I wasn't the best high school football player. I was decent, but I think I just got better. The next step, I went from college into the pros. So, I just enjoyed my journey and thankful people shared that with me.
Ruggs89 New York asks, would Wayne like to become a member of the Jets receiving staff? So offensive coach, coaching receivers.
People always ask me whether I wanted to coach or not. I kind of do, but I know the hours are crazy. A lot of things I do for the team, I wouldn't be able to do anymore. As far as kind of being an ambassador and sponsorships and sales, and just being the face of the team. I don't know if I'd be able to handle coaching guys that were, like me. Not that I was a diva, but I'm comfortable in watching from the stands and my my role with the team. So I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to put back on the Jet hat and the Jet polo on the sideline.
He's leaving it open, folks. It's an open-ended answer right there. All right, last one. Did you and Keyshawn, we talked about this last week, I think a little bit. You've posted about it recently. Did you and Keyshawn get along? That's pretty generic. I was a big Key guy, but was glad you stayed. Other than 98, the Monday Night Miracle game was one of the best memories. You had Velcro on your hands. 3 exclamation points.
Nice. I posted about the Keyshawn thing a couple weeks ago. I posted a picture of me jumping on top of him after a touchdown.
Which game was that? Do you remember? I remember seeing the picture. I can't remember the game. I couldn't think of it.
But I posted, like, and you thought we didn't like each other.
Yeah.
We were great together. And he actually answered the post, joking about how high I jumped to kind of like get on top of him. Yeah. So, like I said, it's overdone. The media enjoyed it. The fans enjoyed it. But like I said, if I saw the guy tomorrow, I'd say hello to him. I'd shake his hand. I have no problem with the guy. And we had some great years playing together.
All right. That's a good way to end it. Quick 30-minute live stream. Next week, we'll be back again Monday night without the possessed puppy, in my ear making growling noises. We'll clean that up and clean out the technical glitches we had. I think we had 1 or 2 today. I don't know what that was from, but we'll clean that out. Go to the site, use discount code 80. There's been a lot of people signing up, loads of people coming in using discount code 80 to get a discount membership at jetsxfactor.com. Rate and review us. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. And we're going to do a Wayne Chrebet Q&A in maybe a month or 2. We'll announce when the date is going to happen. It was going to be originally next week, March 28th. We're going to postpone it to make it more special. If we do it too often, it's going to lose its charm. So this is the better way to go. And, see if Wayne will come back to coach. Maybe we'll push him in that direction.
I'll work on it. I just want to thank everybody for their great questions tonight. Hopefully, I answered your questions and look forward to next week.
All right, Wayne. We'll have a good night, Jets fans. We'll catch you again next time.